Good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are under the sound of my voice. This is Homeland TV, CKA, the pride of the African continent, with me, Tony Mikel Howard, your Pan-Africanist and social justice practitioner. We are live right now on the platform called The Conversation with Mr. Momo Bah, who happens to be a professional platform lecturer and a politician who leads the political institutions in the Gambia called the Afro movement. He's a master degree holder from one of the top universities in Africa, Sheikh Anta from Senegal. Welcome to this platform, Mr. Bah.
Thank you, Tony Michael Howard.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for you to appear as the first guest on the conversation on the Homeland TV. It's an honor to have you here.
I'm really honored, sir, to be the first guest of the Homeland TV.
Okay, that's a beautiful experience. Quickly, you talk about you lead the Afro movement. Can you tell us, and not forgetting the listening audience, on the essence of the acronym? What does it represent, Afro?
Yeah, Afro movement means African federalism and republican orientation. Okay. What we mean by this is republicanism. Okay. We want to adopt the republican philosophy because it is sovereignty, it is it's independence, okay. It is patriotism. Okay. So, but we want to put it in the African context. Okay. This is why we say African federalism and republican orientation. Okay. So, because the realities that we have in Africa are not the realities that we have in Europe, in America, or elsewhere. So, this is why any political philosophy that we have to adopt, we have to put it in the African context.
Okay. Okay. That's beautiful. There you hear from the horse's mouth, there from Mr. Momo Bah, the party of the Afro movement. Quickly, 2026 is just around the corner. 2021, you tested the political waters in this country, even though you fell short of the nominational process by the electioneering body here in the Gambia. Can you tell us, and then including the listening audience, what didn't you get right in 2021, and have you gotten that right, or are you in the process of getting that right heading to 2026 general presidential elections?
Yeah, we fell short in 2021 because we didn't have enough signatures that the IEC required for us to be qualified to be candidate. Okay. And the reason was that we didn't start earlier. We were not able to have all the necessary logistics, to collect the signatures in time. Okay. So this was why we failed to make that nomination.
Okay. So ahead of the 2026, how prepared are you?
Yeah, now we are connecting the dots and crossing the T's. Okay. Because as we speak right now, we have chapters all over the country. Okay. We have representatives all over the country, from Banjul, Basse to Basse.
Okay, that's a great one there. Now I want you to assess or evaluate the Adama Barrow-led administration on a scale of 1 to 10. What would be your rating to the Barrow-led administration, and especially the second tenure?
Yes, I would give him a failing mark. A failing mark, so it's below 5. So,
what would you say are evidentials to justify your rating?
Yeah. So, talking about Barrow is Barrow is someone whom the Gambian people had hope. Okay. When we brought him in 2016. Okay. After that, in 2016, 2021, he came again. He said, he had issues with some of his, mentors, like the UDP party, who brought him to the power. Now he said, okay, now I've separated from these people. Now is the time that I can work for the Gambian people. Okay. So this is why some of us, thought that he would do better. Okay. But unfortunately, he did not respect his promise. Okay. So now, like, what we can say is his original scene. We have to go to the original scene. Okay. The original scene is when he wanted to make 3 years, and then he continued. So he would have been more honored had he respected those 3 years and then step aside. Put here a constitution for everybody. Then like the stop corruption. And then reduce the high cost of living. This was what the governments were expecting from him, but unfortunately, he did not do that.
We saw you with your party create an alliance with the president at the time. What happened?
Yeah, what happened is like this. By that time, the political atmosphere was bipolarized between
United Democratic Party.
United Democratic Party and NPP, or you can say between Barrow and Dabo. So it was just a matter of choosing between these two.
Okay.
And people, like people that my supporters, my militants, decided that it was better for us to continue with Barrow, seeing the proposition that I had, and then seeing what I've brought to the Gambian politics in terms of
would you describe that decision at the time? Would you say you're right? Or
yes, it was a very strong decision. It was a very difficult decision, seeing that he wasn't fully competent to run the country. But we were left with that difficult choice, choosing between Dabo and him. And my people said he was better than Dabo at that point in time. So that's why we chose him. But I could make a mistake. It could be a mistake, and I admit that. But I cannot sit on those mistakes. I need to rectify those mistakes.
In essence, are you saying that the decisions of your party supporters, which you subscribe to have supported President Barrow in the elections at the time, you consider that an error?
As in politics, you must commit some mistakes, and that was one of the most fundamental mistakes that I committed. I owe it, and I apologize to the Gambian people. And also, it's like, as I said, I cannot sit on those mistakes to the detriment of the Gambian people.
You got to rectify it. Quickly, you constructively criticize President Barrow. The question that I want to ask you is that you've got stronger political parties like the United Democratic Party, most popular opposition party in this country for donkey years now, from the days of former President Yahya Jammeh till date. They remain the strongest political institution in this country, coupled with the incumbent for President Barrow. My question to you as a party leader is that heading into the general and presidential elections come 2026, how strong are you in terms of modalities and ideas and logistics? How ready are you to defeating these, the incumbent for President Barrow, not forget the United Democratic Party for veteran Osemada?
Yes, if you are familiar to the Gambian politics, you know that as we are speaking right now, all those parties are splitting.
We see a lot of switches, from the UDP to the NPP.
Yes. UDP is splitting, because, there are different camps right now there. NPP is splitting because of corruption.
But Mr. Bah, these are all natural phenomena in politics.
Yes, because of corruption. But this one, it's also due to the expectation of the people. The Gambian people are expecting people like Momo Bah. They are expecting young politicians, just like it happened in Senegal, just like it's happened somewhere else. Elders come and put the foundation, but it is the young people who take over and develop the country. So it is time for young people. It is time for Gambian people to give chance to the young people to develop this country.
Now let's look at it. There are a lot of issues happening in the country right now. The issue of there have been not speculation, the evidence are all over the place. You spoke about high cost of living. You talk about massive corruption. You talk about the war on kush as well. The drug that young people are taking and messing with themselves all over the place. What system or modalities do you have in place as a political leader? Come 2026, after you will have been trusted with the mantle of authority to steer the affairs of this nation, under your administration, what would you do to ameliorate these challenges or concerns?
First of all, we have to reorganize the country. We have to reorganize the system. We need a fresh start for all. The corruption that is going on, every problem, the solution is the problem. The solution is like if you change the problem, it gives you the solution. There is this cost drop. Why? Because of there is insecurity in the country, and we have to solve our security problems. This is what we have on the table. And to solve the insecurity in the country also, it means we are stopping violence. Because youths in the ghettos, everywhere, there is a systematic violence that is meted on them. They have no education, no training, no job, no money. So obviously they will turn out to do all the things. So this is why you have the recurring of this cost and lack of security, as I told you. So this is the problem. Now the solution, the opposite is the solution. You make sure that you you secure the country, you make sure that you train the youths, you make sure that you give them jobs, you make sure that you talk to them, So this is one of the most fundamental issues that we have to do. But there is also this high cost of living, as I said. The high cost of living, we have to check again our economic system, the model of economy. We don't have any model of any economic model. We are still in agrarian economy, only depending on agriculture, ineffective agriculture for that matter. So now this is why under my government we are proposing a 21st century agriculture, whereby we won't depend on horse, spades and other traditional tools, but we would mechanize agriculture by bringing the 21st century tools that is technologies that is needed to transform our agriculture, and then move from agriculture to industrialization. Whatever we produce in this country, we make sure that we have companies that will process, develop them, and then we also promote business, goods and services to make sure that our economy will be a mixed economy, economic model. This is what we are proposing to the Gambian people, not only depending on what we have in the West, but looking at the Gambian context, looking at the African context, what we can do to connect, the primary sector, the secondary sector, the tertiary sector, and so on and so forth, to make sure that we put development on the doorstep of the Gambian people.
That's a very brilliant idea. You're listening live here on the conversation here with Homeland TV with me and Tony Mikel Howard here in the close conversation with the party leader of the Afro movement, Mr. Momo Bah, if you like, Professor Momo Bah.